Hello and welcome back to the Let's Talk About It sessions here on Metta Minds with Miss Helene. We talk a lot about the word responsibility, and to me responsibility means your ability to respond. What is your response to an emotion, to a circumstance? How do you handle anything that comes your way? How do you balance anything that comes your way? A doctor asked his patient that had cancer, well, what responsibility are you going to take now? And she said, well, what do you mean? I didn't make cancer happen. It's not my fault. And he said, no, it's not your fault, but what is going to be your response now? What responsibility are you going to take? How are you going to respond to this? What actions are you going to take? How are you going to change your mindset? What are the things you're going to do now that this has happened? When you start to take responsibility for what has happened to you in your life, you empower yourself. If we get bogged down on blaming other people for how we feel, we give the power to someone else. We can't control the reactions of somebody else. We can't control how they feel, how they're going to be in a circumstance. The only things we have a power over is ourselves. So how can we lift ourselves up to be the best that we can be? How can we live truthfully? How can we put in the right effort to living truthfully so that we empower ourselves and that we live from our hearts and our true self? If a snake bites you, are you going to quickly go get help? Are you going to see how you can stop the poison spreading, take you to the nearest hospital? Or are you going to run after the snake and demand an explanation for why they bit you? There was this one thing I did that changed the way that I approached the responsibility I had for anything in my life. And one of those things was time. I used to say to myself and to others a lot that I didn't have time. And because I said that, I really didn't have time. But then how did I change that? I started to think, no, I have time. I'm going to get through this. I do have time. I will find time. I will make time. I will allow for time. And then I started to have time. I know it sounds crazy, but the moment that I changed my mindset and it not being about something else or somebody else or things that are out of my control, I focused on things that were in my control. And then I could feel empowered and get those things done. So let's think about what effort we're putting in, what response we're putting in. What is our responsibility to any emotion, any action, any challenge, any joy, any happiness, absolutely everything that we come across from moment to moment.